The greatest key to a successful and wealthy life is difficult work. But luck also plays an enormous part. A huge number of the richest business people in the world owe their success to diligence and luck, but they still firmly imply that perseverance will eventually usher in luck that may result in success. However, there are those that are just too lucky and are able to seek out hefty fortunes by sheer accident. This planet is indeed stuffed with hidden treasures waiting to be discovered. And if we're lucky enough, like these people, we will become instant millionaires within the most unexpected ways. Here are 10 garage finds that may cause you to think how lucky these people can get and how wealthy it made them. But before we begin, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the bell notification. 10. A signed PICASSO poster, $7,000. This is your typical run-of-the-mill thrift store find. If you ask me, it sounds like it's come straight out of a movie. Zachary Bodish was sifting through various items at an area thrift store in search of some kitschy art to resell. He eventually stumbled upon a commercial advertising an exhibit of a carver. He fell in love with the art immediately and purchased it for $14.14. While he was investigating the piece, he noticed red marks on the underside of the poster. He believed the marks might be Pablo Picasso's signature. Bodish showed the poster to art experts and discovered it had been a lino cut. It seemed that Picasso had carved the design into linoleum after it was inked and pressed into paper. Apparently, only about 100 of these posters were ever created, and Bodish had accidentally purchased print number 6. Bodish eventually sold the print for $7,000. 9. Martin Johnson HEADE painting, $1.2 million. There seem to be a lot of paintings and posters making up this list. Were artists really that careless with their work back in the day? A man in Indiana wanted to seek out a painting to hide a hole in a wall back at his place. He stumbled upon a still photo that he was willing to pay $30 to bring home. Later, he was playing cards and happened to feature famous works of art. The man was shocked to find out that the $30 painting he picked up at a thrift store was actually the work of Martin Johnson HEADE, an American still life painter. The painting was sold for $1.2 million. Sometimes you've got to be lucky twice. Once with the purchase of your hidden treasure, and once when you actually realize the value of the item. 8. Bond watch, $160,175. This one particularly really excited me as I happen to be a huge James Bond fan. It's one of those films whose charm will never fade irrespective of the day and age. An Englishman roaming a flea market picked up a watch he liked for a good price of $38. The watch was later determined to be worn by James Bond in the iconic film Thunderball. The watch was eventually taken to Christie's auction, where it sold in 2013 for $160,175. Typically, movie memorabilia doesn't sell for this huge sum of a price. However, this particular watch was the first one ever modified by the Q branch to include a Geiger counter to help James Bond detect nuclear radiation. This James Bond watch proves that when the circumstances are right, bidders will overpay. 7. Tudor bed frame, £20 million. I mean, I love a good furniture item, just not quite sure I would pay $20 million for one, like in this instance. A Tudor bed was being thrown away in the hotel car parking space of the previous Redland House Hotel in How Green, Chester, England. Ian Colson was unreasonably drawn to the unique piece and offered to buy the bed for £2,200. In 2010, Colson, a 4-post bed specialist, coincidentally saw the item listed on the web. By this time, he'd already purchased the bed and approached TV historian Jonathan Foyle for a second opinion. DNA testing of the bed's wood revealed that it belonged to King Henry VII back in 1486. The bed was estimated to be worth over £20 million, and what was also revealed was that it was the last remaining true Tudor bed within the world. 6. Ansel Adams prints, $200 million. And we have another painting cutting the list. Are we even surprised at this point? In the year 2000, painter Rick Norsigan purchased a group of glass plates that had been printed with images of Yosemite National Park. Norsigan loved the composition of the photos and was willing to scrape up $45 to take back home the works of art. He also discovered that the glass plates were the work of famed photographer Ansel Adams. Norsigan started by selling prints from the work for $7,500 until he discovered that his discovery was worth a mind-boggling $200 million. The family of Ansel Adams denied the authenticity of the work, but various experts were able to verify the artist's handwriting and dated the photos to the very first 1940s supported cloud formation captured in amongst one of the photos. 5. Alexander Calder necklace, $267,750. This is also a similar tale of a sweet and hefty paycheck. A Philadelphia woman shopping at a flea market found a piece of bold jewelry she thought would be a nice addition to her already growing and enviable collection. 3 years after she purchased the necklace, she noticed a sort of similar jewelry on display at the Philadelphia Art Museum. The jewelry was the work of Alexander Calder. The woman immediately rang up the Calder Foundation in New York, and her suspicions were confirmed that her piece was real. She made the decision to sell her discovery at Christie's first open sale of post-war and contemporary art. The necklace was listed as silver wire and cord, executed circa 1940. Her cheap find turned into an easy $267,750 payday. 4. Declaration of Independence, $2.4 million. This one was certainly a surprise for me. The Declaration of Independence has been a hot seller within the 21st century. In 1991, an unidentified man paid $4 for an old picture with a wooden frame during a visit to a marketplace in Adamstown, Pennsylvania. As he took his time to carry out a more in-depth observation of the image, he noticed that there seemed to be something behind the frame. He was shocked to open the frame and find a hidden document. It turned out to be the initial copy of the Declaration of Independence that would go on to sell for $2.4 million. Since that discovery, we're pretty sure thrift stores all over the globe now check for hidden paintings behind old worthless photos. 3. Faberge egg, $30 million. This has to be my personal favorite pick of the list. This particular item was at the center of the plot of one of James Bond's movies. I'm of course referring to the infamous Faberge egg. A scrap metal dealer paid $14,000 for a Faberge egg at a flea market. The man weighed the gold item and believed he could make up for the money he paid by melting down the egg. It's a good thing he didn't melt the item down for scrap metal. The egg was soon discovered to be one of only 50 Faberge imperial eggs known to exist. The estimated value of the egg was over $30 million. The item was eventually sold, but the full price paid by a private collector was never made publicly available. Only 43 of 50 Faberge eggs have been discovered at this moment in time. And with that, it's now time for today's subscriber pick. Today's photo was sent to us by a subscriber. If you come across a photo online and want to know more details about it, just send it over to us. We might even feature it in future videos. 2. Looking at this picture, one can instantly deduce that it's a garage and probably alludes to the topic of the title. From what we can see of the open shed, it seems to be dusty, abandoned, and probably empty. But on the other hand, the closed part of the shed could hold something of great value as well.
I saved the best for last, but first, I have a quick challenge that takes only 5 seconds to complete. If you can leave a like and subscribe within the next 5 seconds, you'll get 10 years of amazing luck. Just try it. It really works.
1. Photo of Billy the Kid, $5 million. Randy Guajaro was walking through a thrift shop when he discovered some junk boxes. He found 3 tintypes inside one among the boxes. A tintype is an old picture printed on thin metal sheets. He paid a whopping $3 for all 3 photos and headed home. Upon a more in-depth examination of the work, he was shocked when he recognized the famous outlaw, Billy the Kid. At first, collectors were very skeptical when Guajaro told them of his find. The artwork was examined for a full year by a team of pros. They ended up identifying all 18 people within the photo, including Billy, his gang, their friends, and family. The photo was later discovered to have been taken in Chavez County, New Mexico. They even found the remains of the building within the photo. Guajaro's photo was appraised and quickly insured for $5 million. And that concludes our list of 10 garage finds that went on to make people extremely wealthy. Let us know in the comments section below which mistake you found the most surprising, and as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the bell icon.